Hey, welcome back, guys. Alright, like I said, last time I said that we were going to talk to this guy, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm not good at raising Pokemon. I should release my Charmander, but I haven't raised it well. If you promise you'll care for it, it's yours. Yes. Alright, so there you guys can see that we got a Charmander. I am going to go ahead and nickname it. So Charmander is usually my go-to starter. And I like to name it Boba Fett, after my favorite Star Wars character. He is definitely the coolest. Okay, cool. Take good care of Charmander. Okay. So, and here we got TM45. So last time, I said that I would tell you guys about the time I got ISS in 6th grade. So, in my middle school, we had these things called responsibility cards, or R cards. If you guys, anyone watching went to middle school with me will know what I'm talking about. But essentially, an R card was a form of pretty much giving out either rewards for good behavior or punishment for bad behavior. So we had like two different columns. One was for positives and one was for negatives. So like if you, I don't know, did something good, you answered all the questions right in class or something, you got a positive. But if you did something like you forgot your pencil or, you know, whatever, you got a negative. If you got 6 negatives, that was a detention. If you got 6 positives, that was a reward. And if you filled up the R card with positives, you got to go to the principal's office and write your name on his wall. It's just like a little like, hey, like, you know, I did this thing. And if you filled the R card completely up with negatives, you it was like an automatic office referral and ISS. So, let's see, let me just make sure Kiki's at the front here. So 6th grade, I had this teacher. By this point, I had pretty much learned, like, if a teacher asks if I'm my brother's brother, just keep your head down for the year. You know, like, just don't say anything, don't misbehave, don't do anything crazy. And this guy's sending out Nonix. But I had this teacher, you know, sure enough, she, you know, I'm going to say her name. It was very broad, and I don't think she works at that school anymore. Her name was Miss Johnson. And she, right off the bat, did not like me. So one day, this is like towards the end of the year, right? There's like 2 weeks of school left. And, you know, by this point, I'm like pretty good at keeping my nose clean, right? Like, I haven't really gotten in trouble since like maybe like January at this point. You know, I'm doing a pretty good job. My grades are looking up. So, something about the R cards, if you forgot them, it was an automatic detention, and they would give you, like, a special R card that was red, or it was pink, they called it red. I think they called it a red card. On this particular day, I had forgotten mine. A lot of teachers checked, so I was just, like, you know, pretty much had to pray that, like, no one would check and make sure that I had it, you know? This was my last class of the day, was Miss Johnson. And I had managed to go completely through the day without anyone checking to see if I had my R card. Great, right? So, you know, she's like, okay, everyone, like, pass up your homework, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, man, like, I forgot my homework. It wasn't even that I didn't do my homework. I remember that I had done it and just, like, left it on my bed at home. And so I was like, oh, man, like, I forgot it. I don't have it. And she's like, okay, give me your R card. I'm going to give you a negative. And I was like, I don't have it. You know, like, I managed to go through the day without my R card. Now, instead of doing the normal thing of just, like, giving me a new R card, you know, she just starts yelling at me. And something about my middle school, too, was that sometimes, I don't know if they still do this, but the way it used to be is we would go to a class, and then we would go, in the middle of class, we would go to a special. So like choir, PE, art, whatever, right? So she's like, okay, when it's time to go to specials, don't go. She goes, stay here. So I'm like, okay, cool. Just thinking that, like, that's when she's going to give me my new R card and send me on my way. She gives me, so specials comes around. Sorry if I'm trying to concentrate on this. So it's time to go to specials, and she's like, okay, she goes, I'm tired of your attitude in my class. And I was like, whoa, I was like, I'm sorry, like, I forgot my homework. I almost never forgot my homework in this class, because like I said, like, I was really trying to just be on my best behavior for this lady. And I was like, I'm very sorry, like, I forgot my homework, but like, I feel like, I've been on my pretty good behavior in your class, She did not like that, so she's like, we're going to the office right now. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to argue, let's just go. Because by this point, I kind of had like a rapport with the assistant principal, so it was like, whatever. So we go up there. I'm outside the assistant principal's office, and I hear the teacher, Miss Johnson, in there, like, yelling about me, about like how disrespectful I am, how disruptive I am in class, how I never turn in my homework, yet I somehow have like a B in the class, right? So the assistant principal is like, all right, I'll take care of it, just whatever. So I go in there, I'm like, look, I don't know what her deal is. Like, I am behaving in there. Like, you can check my grade. I'm doing very well in that class. Like, I haven't gotten in trouble in months, And she's like, I know. She goes, your brother was in here a couple times, like, because of her. Which I figured, So she's like, all right. So by the time we're done talking, there's like 15 minutes left of the day, right? So she's like, all right, like, don't go back to class today. I don't know what her deal is. Just go get your backpack from your locker. She's like, off the record, you're not in any trouble. On the record, like, I'm just going to put you in ISS for the rest of the day. So I'm like, all right, whatever. There's 15 minutes left. I go, I grab my backpack, I come back, and I felt so bad because the lady in ISS, whose job it literally is to just sit quietly with a bunch of kids for like 8 hours. There was no one in there. She's literally about to walk out the door to go home. And the assistant principal's like, hey, like, sorry. And she looks at me and she's like, Blondie, what did you do? And the assistant principal's like, nothing. Like, she explained the situation. So she's like, just let him sit in here for like 10 minutes. She tells me, she's like, you don't have to come back tomorrow, just, keep your head down. She's like, I know you're already doing that in this class, but like, just try your best, to stay out of her way, don't forget your homework again. And yeah, it was just so weird that like, this teacher that I had never had any, she clearly did not like me and kind of had it out for me, but it felt very just like unwarranted what had happened. But yeah, those R cards were just so weird. There was one time earlier that year, there was another teacher who didn't really like me too much. I'm not going to say her name either, because I think she still teaches at that school. Not that I'm going to say the name of the school, but I'm pretty sure she's still there. So I had one negative left until I got the office referral, right? And I was like, my mom was like, hey, like, if you keep getting office referrals, like, we're gonna have an issue, like, stop getting in trouble. So I'm like, all right, cool, So I had my R card with me, but I was like, here's the thing. It's so easy to get a negative. It was so much easier to get a negative than to get a positive when you were, a kid like me. So I was like, I know I'm going to get this negative. I know I'm going to get an office referral. So I'm just going to say that I don't have it, So I go to and sure enough, I go to this lady's class. I like don't have a pencil or something, and she wants to give me a negative. And I go, oh, I don't have my R card with me. She goes, you don't have it. And I go, no. She goes, how many negatives did you have? And I go, I don't know. I'm not sure. And she goes, okay, and she just kind of leaves it alone. This is one of those classes where, like, we went to specials in the middle of class, So we go to specials, and I just have this, like, gut feeling, that, this isn't the end of it. So I go to the bathroom while I'm in specials. I have my R card folded in my pocket, and I take it, and I rip it up, and I throw it in the toilet, and I flush it. I flush it down the toilet, and, Kiki has fainted. I flush it down the toilet. Oh, I was trying to use Thundershock on him. I'm an idiot, guys. I'm so sorry. I am not paying attention. Anyway, I'm trying to, I flushed it down the toilet. When I come back from the bathroom, my specials teacher is like, hey, your teacher needs to see you. Go back to class. So I'm like, immediately just like relief washes over me that I had just done this thing, I go to class, and as soon as I walk in, the teacher goes, empty your pockets. And I'm like, what? She goes, and you guys can see that Kiki is no longer following me. She has fainted. She goes, empty your pockets. And I go, why? And she goes, I think you have your R card. She goes, I think that you were either one negative away from like a detention or an office referral. I don't know. But empty your pockets. So I do. I empty my pockets. Nothing there. There's nothing there. My gut feeling was right. She's mad. She's not like, oh, okay, you just forgot it. She goes, okay, I'm going to give you an R card. I don't know how many negatives you had, but I'm going to fill in every negative until you're one away from an office referral. And I was just like, oh my God, But the thing was, if you had your R card, you could bring it back and it would be fine. So she goes, so if you find your R card, I guess it'll be fine, right? I never did find that R card that I had flushed down the toilet, And I think I had actually managed to, at least in her class, I was like, she's out for blood at this point, So I turned in everything on time, made sure I, always came to class prepared, was never late. And I think I managed to make it, through the rest of the month, because you got one every month. I, managed to make it to where, I didn't get that office referral, so good for me. But yeah, just such a weird system. It was weird how... Oh, I messed up right there. I'm going to have to come back to get that. I think it's just a TM, but... Yeah, it was just not fair and not cool sometimes. Some kids, they would just hand out positives for the littlest things if they liked them, and I just was not one of those kids. I will say, though, I did manage to... I think it was when I was in 7th grade, the next year, once I was I had one detention all year that year. I had managed to fill up the R card with positives, and I got to go write my name on the principal's wall, and I'm pretty sure my girlfriend, who's listening right now, who is kind of a goody two-shoes, did not ever get to do that. So, that's pretty cool. Did you? She said no. Haha. But yeah, anyway, I also mentioned that I got ISS in high school once. That was, I was ditching class. We had a substitute in my English class, and that's a whole, oh man. I'm gonna get into that next time, because that's a whole story about my English 3 class my junior year. But yeah, it's Sunday. You guys seem to really be liking this series. If some of you weren't on summer break last week, then you have to be this week, because today is June 2nd. I can't really get into any stories right now because I only have a couple minutes left. So again, I'll throw in something from my personal life. So something about being an adult, you have to pay bills. So I've been checking online. I like to see how much my bills are going to be like every month. Like you could see online before you actually receive the bill in person. My gas bill was like $0.00, like to when I should have been billed. So I went and checked the mail, and I got a check for $60, not a bill. So I'm like, okay, what is going on? I call the gas company, and which I've had so many issues with in the past. I call the gas company. I'm like, hey, here's my account number. And they go, oh, you want to open an account? And I go, no, I have an account. I'm not getting billed, and you guys sent me a check. What is going on? And they go, oh, you still live out, and then they give me my address. And I'm like, yes, I still live here. You know, and they didn't turn my gas off. It's just that I wasn't getting billed. So they go, okay, so we sent you your deposit back because your account is closed with us. We think what happened was somebody who has a similar, apartment number to you at that same address closed their account, and either they gave their apartment number wrong or the person here heard it wrong. And I'm like, well, I'm assuming the person there heard it wrong, because why would somebody accidentally give a wrong apartment number? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's actually working out because I'm gonna end up getting charged less, because they're saying that my account closed on the 8th. They normally start billing, I think on the 19th or something. So I'm not even getting charged a full month, so it's not that big of a deal. You guys can see that I'm getting so into this story that I'm using Quick Attack on a Pidgey when I could be electrocuting it. I'm going to finish up this battle, and then we're going to call it an episode. So tomorrow, next time, I think we're going to head on over to Bill's house. I'm not going to fight Misty just yet. There's a few things I want to do. I want to get Kiki a little higher level. So I'll work when I come back tomorrow. No, you guys will be able to see some of that tomorrow. Okay, because we are at Bill's house. So, next time, tomorrow, going to Bill's house. We're going to fight someone from Team Rocket, I'm pretty sure. And then we're going to actually start heading towards Vermilion City. We're probably going to make it to Vermilion City. So, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more content if you're not already. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitter @BlondieAnimates for updates behind the scenes of future videos. And thanks for watching.